screen in a study. All right. Now we move over here. So on the left here, these are all your required images. Okay. Now we're in small, so it's just showing you a thumbnail. If you hit large, it just
It's gonna throw toenails.
I like that.
Yeah.
It kind of makes more sense than what I'm about to say. I don't know why this is like this. I feel like this needs to be more clear. This needs to be like more. It needs to say details or something. Because when you click here, it actually gives you options. Okay, so you can click an image and you can, or you can click mark and click multiple images, and you can do things with these images. Like if you need, let's say you need to save the images. Let's say your customer needs them for like a referral or I don't know something. You can take these images, you can hit save, and you can export them, and you can export them to like a thumb drive, or you can burn them to a CD or something of that nature. So this is a little odd that says large and then it takes you to those details, but that's how it's laid out. Okay, so mark just lets you mark multiple images. Okay. Dose will give you a dose report for this patient for this study. Okay, so you can pull that up and it'll show you, okay, like, you know, how long did you fluoro, what kind of dose in milligrade did you give to the patient. Okay, now you can print this, or you could, if you had a PACS system, you could send it to PACS, all that stuff. Okay, the send, this little paper airplane, that's for if you have a PACS, it will send the images to PACS. Open, if you want to import an image into a study or import an image into the software to use as a viewer. So if your patient comes with their own DICOM images that you need to see, which I don't think has ever happened, you could open them that way. As I said before, the save button here will allow you to save to a thumb drive or like an external hard drive. And you can pick what kind of image type you want. You can export it as a JPEG or a DICOM image. Okay, it's kind of intuitive, just like Windows would work. You go through, you pick your flash drive, and we'd hit OK, and then we'd hit OK, and so this is my flash drive I have in the system. And this is our image. These are some other files I had on there. Okay. So it's that simple. I mean, so if you do have a patient that that needs something, you can throw a thumb drive in there, or flash drive, and you can just throw the image on it. Very, very easy to do. Okay. CD. We don't have a CD, but anyway. Basically, it'd be the same thing. You'd hit CD, and it would say, okay, we're going to burn it as a DICOM. Ready, hit OK, burn the CD, and then it spit out when it was done. So, all right, print. There is no printer. I don't think you're gonna print. Do you guys print anything? Okay. Basically, I'd have to set it up with a printer, and then you hit print your image. It's pretty self-explanatory. Okay. Okay, so that covers small and large. Alright, so down here, more things you're probably never going to use, but we'll go over them just in case something gets changed so you know what's what. Okay, so this here is actually a button. So this display control button here pops up, gives you other options. So we'll start with the display control. You hit pan, doesn't do anything unless you zoom. You hit zoom. we hit left click and we can zoom in and out on the image. And if we hit pan, we can move around. Okay, hit fit, it'll resize it. Magnifier. You can turn the overlay on and off. Okay.
Magnifier's kind of nice, like when he's squinting and staring at the screen and trying to.
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, on occasion, some of these functions might actually be used.
Right.
A lot of them are kind of excessive, especially for like normal pain management type procedures. They're nice to have. They're easy for the software engineers to implement into the software, but they may not necessarily be all that useful like on a day-to-day basis. Okay. Turn that off. All right, we can go to image control. These are the same image controls that we have over here, except they're for a saved image, and you know we can flip and rotate and all that stuff. DSA, these are actually really neat functions if you save Cine loops and you need to review them later. I'm not gonna go into all the detail on them. If you need me to, I can. If you need me to at a later date, I can. If you need me to later, I can load it into the system and show you exactly how it works. So I can do it at any time if it's something that you feel that you might use. They're kind of cool to me because they're like really kind of geeky tools that like you are fun to mess with if you're into this stuff. But on a day-to-day basis, you probably won't use them. But basically, like they allow you to acquire a DSA Cine loop, and you can remask that Cine loop after it's been acquired. You can landmark that Cine loop after it's been acquired, and you can adjust how much the pixel shift is, so it highlights that image more or less. There's a lot of functions that you're not really going to use on a day-to-day basis. But if you acquire like a DSA Cine loop, and you find that after you've acquired it, you need it, but it doesn't look quite right, we can go in and we can make adjustments to it after the fact, which is pretty cool because in our previous software, what you saw is what you got. Like if you acquired a Cine loop, that was it. It's not yet. Like if you don't like it, you redo it, I guess. Like so, this is far easier. Okay, image processing. This is pretty much like this is where you would find window and leveling. Okay, and then. We could change like the lookup table adjustments and stuff, you know. Okay, annotations. You go in, I'm not gonna go over all this, you know, you can add stuff all over the image and you can, like, you know, normal annotation stuff that nobody ever uses.
No.
So there we go. It's real cool. You can put stuff everywhere for no reason. Okay. Cine loop. So if you have a Cine loop up here, you can play it. You can stop it. If you have like a long Cine loop, like a DSA run, and you don't need all of it, you just need like it's 20 seconds long, and you're just like all we're really interested in is this 3-second clip in the middle. We can like cut a segment out of it, or we can capture one image out of it, save that, and throw the rest in the trash because it's just a waste of space. And you know, once again, these are things that if you get so into using all the archival kind of functions of the system and all of the data storage functions and the DSA Cine stuff, if you guys get into all that and you find yourself in a month or 2 or 10 down the road that you need some of these functions, you can call me and then we'll go over that. Because now it's just kind of like, you know, excess information. So, okay. So the reality is this is only 2 minutes after we started and all the other stuff never happened. So we came in, we acquired an image, procedure's done, everything's great. We need to move on to the next patient. So you have this little back arrow here. Okay, and you click that, it takes you back to the database. Your next patient comes in, you hit quick exam. There's your next exam. Okay.
You make it sound so easy.
It is. You just the trick is like all this stuff. I'm telling you what a lot of stuff does, and I'm really, like I keep saying, I'm almost telling you so that you know that it's not that important. And it's not cumbersome. Oh my gosh, there's all these things and all these settings. It's like you don't need it anymore. Just ignore them.
Well, it's kind of like, just start pushing buttons. You can't screw it up that bad.
Honestly, unless you go in and start making all kinds of weird image quality, it does.
Right.
In which case,
I mean,
if you do, you just call me and
I'm a huge
I'll
button
reset
pusher.
it. But as long as here's the thing, you can
You ain't
push.
scared, are you?
Yeah, but here's the thing, you can push
You ain't
buttons.
scared, are you?
You
No.
could come in. You could come into the image processing and you could change. As long as you don't start typing numbers in and
Yeah.
stuff, it really doesn't matter. Like it doesn't really matter. Actually, I'm gonna change this real quick. I'm not even gonna do it yet. I'm gonna reset all the software. So. Okay. And then here, like you know, you're really not. This whole patient list and all this stuff, you're pretty much gonna ignore anyway. But when it starts up, it gives you a patient list. This is every patient that's in the system. It has an exam list. This is every exam because some patients might have, you know, more exams. Yeah. A modality work list, you're not even going to use. You need it's for a modality work list server. Scent exam list is for if you have a PAX, so you're gonna have nothing in here. And the quick exam list, that just filters and only gives you quick exams, which is probably primarily what you're gonna use unless the doctor decides to do something differently, but if he hasn't all this time, I probably isn't going to now. So, we'll see, but, let me just show you, so if, let's say he decides, oh, let's start entering all the patient info and everything, and you're like, oh, he didn't show us how to do that. So you hit start exam, you put in a patient ID, okay, so you put in a patient name, gender, let's see. This is where, when you use, when you register a patient, this gets confusing. So it tells you right here, date format is year, hyphen month, hyphen day. And that is a strange way to put the date in. So basically what they're saying is you should put in 1984 hyphen 01 hyphen 01. I don't think anybody really writes the date that way. But if you don't put it in that way, it doesn't accept it. So right now, that's kind of what it is. I'm kind of at a point with our Korean engineers that we're making some revisions in the software. So at some point, it'll probably accept any date that you put in. But for right now, that's what it is. So for right now, if the doctor decides that you need to put in all the demographic info and everything, this is how it would be. Then it'll calculate the patient age. Then you could generate a study. When's your birthday?
It's the 16th of 1983, September 16th, 1983.
Oh, wow.
It's the 23rd.
So it's like we were born like a week apart.
Right?
Wow, that's crazy.
Oh.
My daughter's the 23rd of September, so.
Alright, and there's our study. I think I have.
And it's all the same.
And it's all the same.